Hello students, welcome to Shastra classes. From today, we are starting economics review. Myself Pushpak, I am a chartered accountant by profession. Economics, all the 5 chapters. Okay. Let us start with the first chapter today, nature and scope of business economics. So today we'll cover Unit 1, Introduction. So the term economics owes its origin to the Greek word oikonomia, which means household. Till 19th century, economics was known as political economy. It was used only in politics. After Adam Smith wrote a book called Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, usually known as the Wealth of Nations book, economics has gained its prominence. So now it is used very much widely. It has become a subject by itself. Let us try to understand economics with a simple example given by your ICA material. Okay, let us say your mother gives you 1000 rupees on your birthday. Now you have four options. First thing is party. Second thing is to buy a dress for yourself. Third one is movie and restaurant. Fourth one is buy a book and save the rest of the money. You have only 1000 rupees here. Given a chance, you will buy all of this. So for that, you will need 4000, but you have only 1000. That is the reason this 1000 is a limited resource for you, but your wants are unlimited. Let us understand the two fundamental facts. First one is humans have unlimited wants. The means to satisfy these wants are relatively scarce. Instead of the word limited, they use the word scarce. Why they use the word relatively means the scale means are relative with respect to the unlimited wants. Okay. So now you have to make a decision which one to buy. So you'll rank them in the order, like you want to party first and buy a book last, because no one is interested in buying a book. So you'll party first. So you'll allocate this 1000 to party. What you have done, you have allocated 1000 rupees to party because it gives you the greatest satisfaction. Okay. So economics is nothing but the study of processes by which these relatively scarce resources are allocated to satisfy the competing unlimited wants of human beings. See the word competing. You see, these four wants are competing with each other. Okay, the party stood at first, dress stood at second, movie and restaurant stood at third, and book stood at fourth. Okay, since the wants are competing, you are able to choose. Okay, let us say 2008, the mom got 1000 rupees. In 2019, now you cleared, now you are in 12th class, you demanded 2000 rupees because now you are a big guy. So you expect another 1000 rupees from your mom. So she'll give you 2000. So till now we assume that the resources are constant in economics. No. In 2019 they have increased. Okay. So first thing is resources are not fixed. And the second thing is, suppose you have an organization, you hired employees in 2018. So by 2019, you must have hired many employees. So the resources in your organizations are high, quantity is high. Also, the employees whom you hired in 2018 are experienced employees now. So their quality is also increased. So by 2019, the quantity and quality of the resources has been increased. 2020, let us say your birthday falls on March 24th. Okay. So during the lockdown, you cannot buy, you cannot go to party, and you cannot buy dress, and you cannot go to restaurant, movie, and you cannot buy a book. but you are expecting 3000 from your mother because it is 2020. Now you are a CA student. Okay, but your mom says, बेटा तुम कुछ भी नहीं खरीद सकते हो, अभी मैं तुमको 1 रुपया भी नहीं दूंगा, अभी तुमको 0 मिलेगा रुपीस, बस ओनली थिंग यू नीड टू डू इज यू नीड टू spend time with your family. You cannot do any other thing. So here what we have learned is that the resources growth is not constant every time. Okay, you are expecting the growth to be constant, but it is not like that. Because of COVID, the growth has come down to almost 0. Okay, so let us understand the meaning of business economics. So business economics is something that helps organization to make decisions. So if you see, when starting Shastra classes, we had all these questions: whether to start or not, how to teach online or offline, how much fees to charge. Okay, so when the answer for the first question was start, how to teach online, because during the COVID situation it is not possible to teach offline. How much fees to charge? See, there is competition and there is COVID, and also the GDP has come down. So considering all these factors, we thought it is better to start revision classes for free. Also, your exam is starting in November. We cannot start regular classes now. So we thought of starting revision classes. Okay. So with the help of business economics, we were able to make decisions. So let us say I am the manager of Shastra. So I applied all these economics in decision making. Okay. That is the reason business economics is also known as managerial economics, also applied economics, because manager has applied economics in practical life. Okay, in real life. Okay, it's also known, since managers use, it is called managerial economics. Since it is applied in real life, it is called applied economics. Okay, business economics integrates economic theory with business practice. You should remember this. So nature of business economics, so it is broadly classified into micro and macro. So microeconomics deals with particular unit, organization, or small group of units. Like okay, and macroeconomics deals as a whole. It doesn't deal with particular things. It deals as a whole. Like say, if you're talking about teaching classes in India, it is macro. If you're talking only about Shastra, it is micro. Okay. If you're talking about GDP, employment levels, and all, it is macroeconomics. So see, macroeconomics deals with individual, specific to the firm, like product pricing, consumer behavior, factor pricing, and economic condition of a section of people, not all the people, of a particular section of the people, and behavior of firms, location. Okay, everything is particular. And the level of aggregation means addition of all the. See, here we are only talking about one section. Okay, if it is in case of macroeconomics, we talk about all sections. Okay, aggregation is nothing but addition. Okay, so level of aggregation is high here, level of aggregation is low here. Okay, so a few areas that comes under macroeconomics are national income and national output, general price level and interest rates in the country, balance of trade and balance of payments, external value of currency. Don't worry, you all are lucky students, you don't need to read all this, you only have microeconomics in your syllabus. Okay, we had to read all this when we are doing CPT. Now it is CA foundation. You guys are really lucky. So guys, you have seen that business economics helps organizations to make decisions. So the word business itself says that it is related to the particular business. Okay, so that is why generally it deals concerned with microeconomics. Also, you have seen that while making decisions for Shastra classes, what I have done, I have taken into consideration competition in the market, COVID, and GDP. All these are external factors. So while making decisions, we should also consider all that. Hence, it is basically concerned with micro. Also, macroeconomics has a important role to play in making decisions. So, nature of business economics. Business economics is a science because it deals with cause and effect relationship. If you see, if price increases, quantity demanded will decrease. If price decreases, quantity demanded will decrease. Will increase. Sorry, yeah. You can see this in second chapter. We'll talk more about this in second chapter. Also, it is a science, but it is not a perfect science because it is based on human behavior. It is not necessary that if price increases, quantity demanded will decrease. Some humans might buy it because they are rich. They are rich, they can buy. This law of demand will not apply to them. Okay, it is not perfect to everybody. So it is based on microeconomics. Just now we have seen it relates to a particular business, hence it is based on microeconomics. Also, it incorporates elements of macro analysis. So we have done macro analysis for Shastra like GDP, COVID, and competition. So we have taken some elements of macro analysis. And business economics is an art. Okay. Why it is not? Because it has the practical application of all the rules and principles, and also it gives solutions. Okay. And we use of theory of markets and private enterprises. We'll see this in chapter 4. Okay. It is pragmatic in approach. Pragmatic means nothing but practical. We use it in real life. And it is interdisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary because it incorporates tools from various subjects like mathematics, operations research, management theory, accounting, marketing, finance, statistics, and econometrics, and all. Also, it is normative in nature. So normative means, okay, let us see what is positive. Positive means it gives only cause and effect relationship. Normative means it also gives suggestions. So positive says what is, normative says what should be and what ought to be. Means it gives suggestions, na what should be there. Okay, it just says what is there. It says what should be there. Positive is descriptive in nature. Normative means prescriptive in nature. Prescriptive means it prescribes something. Okay, so generally business economics is normative in nature, but sometimes it is also positive in nature. Okay, generally it is normative. Next comes scope of business economics. Scope is nothing but where all the business economics is applied. Simply is applied in micro and macro. Micro is nothing but operational or internal issues. Anything that is internal is micro, and macro, anything that is external to the business organization, is macro. So in micro analysis, we have demand analysis and forecasting. We'll see it in a greater detail in chapter 2. We have something called inventory management. So business economics helps us in making decisions with respect to inventory management also. Let us say if we use ABC analysis. So for A is a high valued item, B is a medium valued item, C is a low valued item. So for C, we don't need to incur storage costs because we don't store it in godown. So if we categorize inventory as A, B, C, we can happily store C outside the godown because they are not high value. We don't need to incur storage costs. It helps in reduction of cost for the business. So all these decisions, let us say you have the capacity to produce 1,000 units. 1,000 units in a month, but in the month of December, you know that only 500 can be sold. If you know that only 500 can be sold, if you produce only 500, then you can stop the blockage of your funds. You don't need to invest your money on the 500 units, and also you can stop the storage cost on that. Okay, so that's how business economics helps in making decisions. Also, market structure and pricing policies, and we'll see that in chapter 4. Resource allocation we have seen just now. And the theory of capital and investment decisions. So capital and investment decision is nothing but owners bring capital. Let's say they brought 100 crores and they invested in assets. So they have to choose an asset which give them the higher return. Okay, that's what we need to do. So guys, these are all scope. Okay, you don't need to remember all this. You just have to know that it is applied in all these areas. And it also applied in profit analysis, and also it is applied in risk and uncertainty analysis. So you will analyze all the risks and uncertainties, and you will evaluate them, and you'll also evaluate the possible prospects of the business in such conditions. So macroeconomics is nothing but external. It's related to external issues or environmental issues. So anything that is external is to the business is macro, like type of economic system, stage of business cycle, general trends in national income, employment, prices, saving and investment, economic policies, working of financial sector and capital market, socio-economic organizations like trade unions, producer and consumer. So basically everything that is external covers under macro. Simple. So guys, this is the end of unit 1. So let us have a quick summary. What we have learned? We have learned that human wants are unlimited. The resources are, however, the resources are relatively scarce or limited. Okay. After that, we have seen that resources are not fixed; they are growing, and the growth in resources is resources are not fixed. The quantity and quality of the resources will increase, and resources growth is not constant. Okay, just because you got 1,000 extra in 2019, it doesn't mean you'll get 1,000 extra in 2020 also. And after that, we have learned that business economics helps the business in decision making. It is also known as managerial or applied economics. Also, business subject matter of economics is divided into two parts: micro and macro. Micro is we are talking about particular unit, particular organization, or a small group of units. Macro means we are talking as a whole. Okay, so business economics is primarily concerned with micro, but it also incorporates elements of macro. So, nature of business economics. Business economics is a science because it shows cause and effect relationship. However, it is not a perfect science. It is based on microeconomics. It incorporates elements of macro analysis, and it's also an art because it gives practical application and gives solutions. It is pragmatic in approach, which is nothing but it is practical. It is normative in nature. Also, sometimes it is positive. It is interdisciplinary as it takes tools from other subjects. Scope, nothing but micro and macro. Micro is internal and macro is external. That's all for today, guys. I hope you liked the class. Since it is a revision class, I've gone through it very fast, and I hope you all now had the knowledge of the concept that we have discussed. Thank you for your valuable time, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to teach you. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.